Hey guys, it's Tay. I'm back. Thank you for tuning in for another video. So I feel like I just want to talk to you, kind of like bare my soul, be real, be honest, you know what I mean? Because that's just what I will always be, because that's just who I am. That's kind of why my channel is named what it is, Purely Tay, because I'm never going to be inauthentic. I'm always going to be myself and kind of talk to you as if you were my friend. So maybe that this is more of a video for me more than it is for you. But I feel very anxious and I want to like get it out there. And if anyone else like feels the way that I do, that'd be cool. You know, we can synchronize on that, you know? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not down. Like I'm okay, I'm good. But I have a lot of feelings towards pregnancy this time around. And I think that now that I am going to be 18 weeks this Wednesday, today is Monday. So I'm gonna be 18 weeks soon. And you know, that's almost halfway. So it's like, you know, we're not getting close, because like, let me tell you, pregnancy feels like a lifetime. You know, I'm really not that large. You feel me? So it's, you know, I've got a lot of growing, and I'm feeling this way because pregnancy in America is just so very much like a medical condition. And my first pregnancy with my son King, it was real, excuse me, I want to say beautiful, because of course it was beautiful. I had my first child. He was healthy and amazing and I love him so much. So like there's nothing that I'm going to take away from that situation as like bad. However, like I don't even want to say things happened, because truthfully nothing negative happened. But there were things that happened along the way that I didn't love, you know what I mean? Where I would like to not feel that way this time around. So it's like adding to my anxieties, you know what I mean? Going into it, like for me, it is very much important that things happen naturally. When I had my son, I was induced because I went 42 weeks, and the midwife center that I chose to birth at, they're just not allowed to, like state laws, they're not allowed to administer birth past 42 weeks. So I had to be induced. If I continued, I couldn't have my birth there. Now, the birthing center was 45 minutes away from where we live now. By the time I have this next baby, we won't be living here, but like we want to stay in the same area. We just don't like this place, because that's why I'm in my bed right now, because this is a 1-bedroom apartment. If I don't want to film out there in the living room where Jesse is gaming, King is watching TV and snacking all loud, then I have to be in here, the only place with another door, unless I'm in the bathroom. So, you know, it's just like not ideal space, and definitely not big enough for a family of 4. But I say that to say, like, yeah, we're gonna be moving by then, but we want to stay in this area. So do I really want to have to birth somewhere that's 45 minutes away again? Not so much. Like, I loved the nurses there. Absolutely amazing. They were so supportive. They never made me feel uncomfortable. Like, it felt good. The midwife that I gave birth with, she was my least favorite of all of the midwives. And that was like only because earlier in the pregnancy, she made the biggest deal of my weight gain, because I had gained 80 pounds. So it's not like that's a good thing. Like I did not have to gain that much weight. However, it wasn't like outlandish for my family. You know what I mean? But yeah, I went from 125 to 205 by the day that I gave birth. And that's a lot. But at the point where she made it an issue, it was not a big deal. I had gained 30 pounds. And like, I don't know, when you think about it, like I was 125 for me, that's like really slender for my frame. I'm 5'4". And like, I don't know, I was just eating. Like I was chilling, I wasn't stressed about what I was eating. I refuse to limit what I want to enjoy because of how healthy it is. Because in the past, I've had like very, very fitnessy periods of my life where I'm super healthy, and it's to the point where it's like, I refuse salt, I refuse sugar, like I ate a certain way and was like dumb crazy about it. So like that's unhealthy. That's it. I don't ever want to think those types of ways again. And then even further back as a child in my teens, there were times where I just wasn't eating. I was limiting myself to 500 calories a day. I just want to say that there's certain ways of thinking that I don't want to allow myself to do again. I will never count calories. I will never, honestly, even really write down my food journal. Maybe I'll get there one day, but that's not me now. That's not me while I was pregnant with my son. That's not something that I want to be a main focus for me. So I just was triggered by her constant, like, having the need to talk about my weight, whereas like other midwives, because there was like 5 in the practice, other midwives really didn't make a big deal of it. Like, I was very active the first trimester and the third trimester. The second trimester, I was not active at all, and that's when a lot of weight gain happened. And then it just, I mean, I think naturally kept going up, but like, as you can see, I did get big. It's not like I wasn't big, but when she was talking about it, I wasn't really that big, honestly. So she's the one who I ended up giving birth with. The only person that I didn't want to. It ended up being fine because my kinky was born and everything was all well. Like, the only thing that I can really say is I was trying to get through it. When you're induced, the contractions are stronger and often longer. So it was just a lot. I was going through it. It was my first pregnancy. I didn't really know exactly what to expect. Read books about it, listened to a lot of podcasts, like read a lot of research, but like, you never know till you're there. And I mean, I got through it at the end of the day. My water broke at 1 p.m., something like that. And I gave birth at 11:28 that night. And we had been there from 7 p.m. the night before. So it was just like kind of a long process. The day that, like, the night we hung out, nothing, there was no progression, nothing really happened. That day though, that morning and on to like before 1, I was miserable. I don't know what time the contractions actually started, but I just know I was like not feeling good. I got to a point where I couldn't eat anything, couldn't drink anything. I was just throwing up and dry heaving once there was nothing left in my system. And I was just kind of miserable. Didn't want to look at my phone. Like, I just wanted to get through it. And I was just bouncing on the birthing ball, just bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. And I had gotten to a point where I was like, I'm so uncomfortable. I just want to go in the shower or go lay in the tub, just like move from here. Cause like when you're active, it's supposed to help. And just at that time, they're like, the baby's heart rate has elevated. We need you to lay down. And laying down was the most uncomfortable place that I could be. So I was there for a long time. I don't know what time that had started. I really couldn't even look at my phone. Like, I was just honestly going through it. I was just so not upset, but I was just moody and like in pain, you know? So, yeah, they were like, you can't do what you want to do. Basically, I wanted to move around. I couldn't do that anymore. And then when it was, then they got me ready for a C-section because of his heart rate. Well, Jesse had got me ready, and then we like asked them, like, are we gonna do this or what? Cause I'm like dying, you know what I mean? And she was like, she checked me one more time and it was time to push, so I was good. Pushing took about 20 minutes and baby was here. But I just remember being on my back, because remember, I had to lay down. Like I didn't have a choice. I had to stay in that position. And I was kind of like, I want to move. I don't want to be in this position, because I remember everything I read. When you're laying on your back, you're working against gravity. It's just not natural. That's not how animals give birth or anything like that. And she says to me, well, where do you want to be? Or like something along those lines. Where do you want to go? How do you want to be? I don't know how she said it or what she said, but maybe it was nicely. All I know is I heard it in the not nice way. But you know, in my mind, it was not being said in a nice way. Like, how do you want to be? And I was just like, I'm gonna just stay here. But I know better. I knew better. I shouldn't have done that. It was just like things that I had wanted in my head. You know, I didn't think about in the moment going through things, because there was other things on my mind, obviously. And I just want them to be different. And so, truthfully, this time around, I was gonna go back there because it was a good experience. I really loved the nurses. Like, when I say that, I really loved the nurses. I really loved the birthing center. However, you know, the distance isn't ideal. I was gonna go back. I noticed that when I call them, I can never get in contact with anybody. I'm like, does anybody even work here anymore? Like, what's happening? And then I finally got in contact with someone last week, and they had told me the hours had changed since COVID and everything like that. So it used to be 8 to 4, and then Monday and Wednesdays nights, they would do evenings. I would always come on evening because I work. But now it's 9 to 5, and they don't do evenings. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, leave work every single appointment? Like, I just don't even know. And another thing about them, they don't do ultrasounds, which is fine, but that means I have to go to like a different place to get my ultrasounds, which is what I did last time, which is fine. But you know, what I had initially wanted for myself was to wait, because I'm a healthy person. I know that everybody's different and like you never know what's gonna happen, but like I just didn't feel comfortable exposing myself early on for no reason. So I waited, and I kind of thought it would be easy. I thought that I would just make my first appointment as my anatomy scan, which is done around 20 weeks. And like I said, I'm 18 weeks this week. So I thought it was perfect timing calling last week. Well, I think I called the week before, but I couldn't get in. So it would have been 16 weeks that I first called. But like I said, it took so long to get in contact with someone, 17 weeks. So I call, they tell me I need a prescription to get the anatomy scan or ultrasound in any way to confirm my pregnancy, blah, 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 blah. I decided I was gonna switch it up because of how difficult it is to get in contact with them, because they don't have hours when I need them. I was just gonna go to some place that my good friend, who's gonna be this baby's godmother, where she's going because she's currently pregnant. She's a month ahead of me, which is King keeps coming in here, and then he gets angry. I don't know what that word is. What I was saying, like, another thing that makes me nervous is that I have to do everything alone. So like I said, you know, when my first pregnancy, I had the moment of discomfort with that midwife because of the weight issue. Jesse was there. Jesse was at that appointment. He was there to reassure me on the drive home. He was, you know, just supportive. I don't have that. Like, not saying that something's gonna go wrong at any of my appointments, but I just don't have the option. It's gone. It's nerve-wracking because it's a new place. I don't know what to expect. This is not a natural birth geared place. You know what I'm saying? I looked at the hospital and everything, but I don't really know much about this actual practice, like the OBGYN. I don't really know anything about them. So it makes me nervous because what I had initially wanted was this anatomy scan to be my only ultrasound, if possible. Like, if there was no complications. Obviously, if there's something wrong with my baby, I want them to keep track on that and like do everything they have to. But if I was perfectly fine, why would I need another ultrasound? This place requires that you have one to confirm your pregnancy. That rubbed me all the way the wrong way, because ultrasounds, like, I just don't want to do that. Honestly, if I don't hear the things that I want to hear, Jesse and I had just talked about this, I might just leave work early and go to the place that I went to last time, because I don't know, it's just hard. I don't want to have to fight people on the things that I want and the things that are important to me. And I don't use a Doppler, a fetal Doppler. And if you don't know what that is to hear the heart rate of the baby. I don't use one of those unless I have to. So yes, a Doppler, some people feel like there is no radiation involved. The natural community feels like there is. That's all I need to know. I'm good off of it. Why would I do that if I don't have to? So I have a fetoscope, essentially a stethoscope for hearing the baby's heart rate. Now with that, you can't really hear it until like 19 weeks, which is like also another thing. I don't want to have a million appointments. Like, we're in COVID season. I don't want to have to always be coming out. That's just how I feel. It brings me anxiety because I don't want to have to fight over everything I want. I don't want it to have any interventions unless completely medically necessary. It just scares me. I have to do so much of this on my own because, like, I had a whole breakdown this weekend because, like, I have so much anxiety about leaving King with somebody else. Because he's almost 2 and he has only been out of the care of me or Jesse one time. We went out one night last February, and that was so... I love you so much. I love you so much. Oh, my baby. Oh, I know what I was talking about. I was talking about how he's almost 2 and he's only been out of our care one time. And that is something that makes me feel away. Because I don't know, I don't want to leave him. Even though if I leave him, it's going to be with his godmom or with my mom. But I don't know. I just don't want him to be without one of us because he's never really done that. He always goes to sleep by nursing. And if not, like, at least it would be Jesse who puts him to sleep, you know? And like, you're in the hospital for, this hurts so bad. And if not, like, you know, you're in the hospital for at least 2 days. And that's just 2 days without my baby. Ideally, like, a home birth would have been so nice. So I don't have to leave him and we could all be together and at home and comfortable and things could be the way I want, but that's a perfect world. So, you know, I don't know. These are my anxieties. These are things that make me feel uncomfortable or nervous about this pregnancy. And then I also wonder, like, will he be able to visit me? I don't know. Yeah, but it's just like, it's a lot. Cause like, you think, when I think back, you know, like, Jesse was a big advocate for me. He was a big advocate for me at the last birth, and I had to do that for myself, which is good. You know, I should be able to stand up for myself and for what's important to me, and the things that I want for my baby and stuff like that. All right, well, I've talked enough. I think I've made my points. I think I've let you know a little bit more about me and how I feel. Ooh, and stuff like that. So today is Thursday, the day that I have my ultrasound scheduled for the new office. And we're having a snowstorm. It's kind of good news because I was second guessing if I really wanted to be there with all new people, all new hospital, like having to learn me, me having to learn them. Will they support me? So I'm just gonna keep my appointment that I have at the place that I did with King, and that appointment is on Monday. And then I'm just gonna cancel my future appointments with the new place and just go where I know the people, I feel comfortable. They have a new location that's about 30 minutes away, and that makes me feel a lot better that I don't have like all of these new variables like within. So just gonna enjoy my snow day, and I'll update you guys as I know. Thanks for watching.